Whoa, what do you know? Look at that. Is that another Lego thing? Looks like it's time for another edition of Howard's Builds stuff. Today, I got the little brick separator to help me out. You know, it doesn't look like much, but it actually helps out a lot, considering last episode I screwed up royalty. But today, we are building Buggy the Clown's Circus tent from Netflix's One Piece. Last time we actually focused on the I already forgot the island because that was a very very forgettable set. It was just like a little shack. So now we're gonna build, first of all, Buggy the Clown, fan favorite character. So if we're gonna follow the show's logic, this is actually the second set that happens in the show chronologically. So the first one was Luffy getting his hat from Shanks. Then we flash forward a bit, and Luffy's like, "I'm gonna make a pirate crew. I'm gonna be king of the pirates." So he gets a pirate bounty hunter named Zoro and finds a thief called Nami, and both at a marine base, and they kind of just trash it and escape, and then they kind of end up kind of straggling along the oceans to find their first devil fruit user, which is Buggy the Clown. Now his devil fruit's funny. He got the chop fruit, and which means any part of his body he can just kind of like pop it off and make it float wherever he wants. And he can just reattach to himself whenever, which this set is actually really cool. I'll show it soon, but there is an option to make a cut up Buggy with all of his like hand parts floating around. So it's really cool. So we're starting off with the base here. It's kind of boring, but I brought back Buggy so that way you can be like, oh yeah, that's something cool. That's something cool. Which, you know, at least this, you gotta give them credit. They made a Lego Buggy the Clown. I never thought they would ever touch Buggy the Clown. You know, the show did a great job with the casting for that, but I'm talking about Lego specifically. It's like, oh yeah, no, I just have now I have a Lego Buggy the Clown minifigure. A wild thing to say, wild thing to say. But yeah, we're going off with this. So this arc, now it's actually different in the TV show. Basically, they get trapped in this circus tent, right? And they basically have to escape Buggy and a couple of his performers, but the performers are kind of like, you know, jobbed. It's mainly Buggy who's the main issue. But in the anime and the manga, it is a full town that Buggy just kind of controls and blows up and has like a whole entire circus crew and stuff. So anime has a lot more characters and stuff going on, and it also has a really adorable dog. And oh my god, what's the guy that's there? I think his name's like Whoop Slap or whatever, who's like the mayor of the town. But Luffy still does the same thing. He fights Buggy, but that means we don't get really cool things like Buggy the Clown's ultimate move, the Buggy Ball. And which means when we get to Impel Down in the Netflix TV show in the year, I don't know, 2040, we're not going to get the best line of Buggy the Clown asking, Luffy, do you remember my awesome, super cool Buggy Ball? And Luffy goes, no. It's always eternally funny. It's always eternally funny. But yeah, no, we're just kind of building the base. Now, those two little colorful plates there, actually, that is going to be where we're going to put some chests. But right now we're kind of making a door frame, but with no door. So that's where we're at the moment. I was just bringing out the brick separator just in case I thought I messed up, but I actually didn't. I do mess up later, so we will show off what the brick separator will do. Now, you may be asking, well, why was there so much time between this episode and the last one? It's because I was going to make a Halloween episode, but the pieces broke of the thing I was building. It was actually an SH figure art where you could build your own action figure, but, you know, kind of sucks. But now we're on bag 2. I'm just throwing that out there. But yeah, no, I was going to make a figure arts, but I kind of broke a piece or two, so I kind of gave up. So we're back to Legos. We're back on that Lego grind. So building more. So I thought this was a part where we got a new minifigure because we actually got 4 minifigures in this one. But no, we're just gonna skip. There was actually 6 bags in this. There was a lot of pieces, a lot more than I was expecting. Also, I think I got a better camera angle this time. I think I did it way better. Way better, because this recording was like almost 2 hour long recording that I'm squishing it down to about a half hour. So hopefully this doesn't look like I'm tweaking. When I get to the next set, which I think the next set's probably gonna be, oh, what was it? Oh, it's not the Going Merry. The Going Merry is the chronological next set, because that would mean we're going to Syrup. They go to Syrup Village after this, and that's where they get their pirate ship. I gotta get, that would be the next one, and that's gonna be a pretty big set. It might be a little longer than 2 hours. But we'll figure that out as we go. We'll figure that out. Right now, we're just doing the very fun thing of building a wall. Ooh, that's because that's what everyone wants to do. Build a wall. A wall to a circus tent, mind you. Sorry, I had to take a sip of my drink. You know, gotta stay hydrated, because I'm about to be talking for a full half hour. That's right. You're like, oh man, he's talking for 22 minutes. I'm about to go for a full half hour, and you can't stop me. But yeah, this is kind of just the boring part of just building the exterior wall. And you know, it's really not that much. It's just a circus wall. I'm really trying hard here. Really trying hard. It also is really weird. Yeah, see, if you see, I had to put like a tiny brick and a regular white brick, and then another tiny flat one on top of each other. Thought that was kind of weird. Don't know why they did that. Feels like they could have just, I don't know, made it bigger. I don't really know. It's also really tiny and compact. It's just like the bar in the last episode, the little bar shack. It's so tiny and compact. I remember these sets used to be so much larger and like robust. There's also these, it's really funny, those were skeleton feet, and when I first opened the bag, I'm like, why do we need skeleton feet? Because that's the part that it is, but it's literally like they're used as like little railings. I was like, oh, and here we go. That's Buggy's bandana right there, so you can actually put it in the chest. So in the show, what they actually do to beat him, because he has the chop fruit, they ignore me struggling there, because he has the chop fruit, Zoro can't cut him. Nami can hit a chunk of his body, but won't do anything. And as you can see, we're making this tiny Buggy body there, putting in another chest. So what they do is they kind of wait for him to split all apart, and then they kind of just start putting him in chests and barrels and pieces, so all he's left is like a couple of short body parts. So it's a pretty funny way of dealing with that. And I also think it's really cool that they actually included the ability to make a tiny little Buggy. It's pretty cool. The only downside is that those chests pop off way too easily. I'm going to be constantly accidentally popping them off way too much. Way too much. And yeah, we're almost done with this bag, I'm pretty sure. We're making a little arch. And it's really odd, but we're doing the best we can. Even though it doesn't really look like the thing from the show, it's got like cute little references to it. So you know what, I'm not going to complain. And as you can see here, we're basically done with bag 2, going on to bag 3, where we're going to get our next Lego minifigure, which is Nami the Navigator. But first, I got to show you the wanted posters, because it was a gotcha game, and I got 2 Arlongs, which we'll get to Arlong Park at the end of this series, I guess, but whatever. So we're going to build Nami the Navigator. Her live action adaptation, really good. They managed to, just put them next to each other. They did manage in the anime, which I think is really cool, because in the manga and show, they change like the costumes for the characters all the time. It's not like the Flintstones where Fred's been, wearing the one caveman tunic for like, 100 years or however long that show's been going on. In like the first, chunk of One Piece, they just keep changing their outfits over and over and over again. Which, the show actually kept that, and I think is really cool. And they keep Nami's design really well, and the woman who plays her is really good, really good. And what she actually has, so she has a staff, so she uses a staff. which in later seasons she trades it in for what's called a climate baton, where she puts the power of weather at the end of it, so she'll like whack someone's head with it and shoot thunder out of it, or and here's the brick separator because I put it at the wrong thing. I just I totally forgot this was the part because I was yapping, but yeah, so you can literally just, there's holes at the bottom underneath it. I don't actually show it, but it helps pry things off. But so yeah, Nami's gonna get a climate baton later. I think they just are showing stuff for season 3. She's not gonna get it then. But yeah, so she has the climate baton, and that little thing is the map of the sea they're in. I think it's I forget, was it East Blue or West Blue? It was one of them. It's just a map of the whole sea, which is a main plot point because Arlong wants the map. But Luffy wants it because he wants to be the king, the king of the pirates. He wants to explore everywhere, yada yada yada. So that's the little doohickey that is character driven. So we made these really cool arches. And that little thing that went on top of it that I did not actually know forever. And I'm just kind of staring at these pieces, wondering what in the good name am I actually doing? We were contemplating some serious life choices there because I wasn't really I didn't understand where the set was going. You can see I had to put like little sticks in it. And I have no idea why, but it makes a little bit more sense later. Just a little bit. If you remember what the beginning of the box looked like, you'll kind of get it. But as of now, I don't. But yeah, no, I think there's a cool. Oh, see, look, okay, see what I did there is also see, you can actually see at the bottom side of the brick separator. There's little holes you can grab it. But what I used there was at the end of it. There's like a really thin lip that you can use to get under a bunch of Legos that are like flat panels, because flat panels have like this little edge in them. And that lip fits perfectly underneath it for you to just slide on there and pop it off. It's a really handy tool. I remember when I was, in like middle school or whatever, like it was like in the 2010s, early 2010s, every single Lego kit had that brick separator. Now they don't because, even though they're charging, $10,000 for a Lego set, I feel like the crappy brick separator should be like this should be in every big set that costs about $100 or more. I feel like that should be a thing, but you know what? Why be nice to the consumer in this economy in any way, shape, or form? Why be nice to the little guy when you're, all I want's a little brick separator every now and then. So we're still going, we're making all these doohickeys. So I put the Arlong posters on the wall. I don't know if I'm gonna keep them there. I gotta go on eBay if I don't get all the wanted posters, because that's gonna be a pain. But now we're moving on to bag 4. We're gonna get another minifigure. Ooh, we're getting the third one. Third one we are getting is Roronoa Zoro. He doesn't have a devil fruit like Luffy. And he doesn't really have a good ship roll. He is basically the dude who fights things. And he's great. He uses a 3-sword style where he puts a sword in his mouth, and I thought it was going to be like a dumb backpack, but no, it literally is that little white thing you just slide on. And it's really cool. So what Zoro does is when he gets super serious, he puts on a bandana. And I don't care what anyone says, that's cool. And they made sure to include the bandana along with his regular green hair. Honestly, very good attention to detail on these sets. I really dig how they're doing that stuff. It's really, really well thought out for a lot of it. And he even still has it because like they redesigned Zoro because at one point in One Piece there's gonna be like a 2-year skip in time. And Zoro's gonna be wearing like a samurai katana. I'm sorry, no, a samurai kimono. My bad. And he still has his little bandana wrapped around his arm for whatever it's time to get serious. He just puts it on his head. It's like, yep, it's go time. I gotta jump someone. It's fighting time. And I'm like, dude, it's awesome. So right now we're actually making the roof, the beginning of making the roof of the circus. So we're kind of, so we made a lot of the cool little, I guess, infrastructure of the circus. You know, it's just some like infrastructure stuff, you know. And right now we're just, it's, you know, it's the boring stuff. I think this bag was only like 2 of the 3 things for the circus roof. It's not that much, but you know what? We'll do. It's very entertaining, because it's just, you know, a roof. Oh my god! I just realized, dude, it's gonna bite when I'm gonna have to look for all the wanted posters on eBay. Man, I hope I get them all. I hope I get them all as this series keeps going. If I don't get all of them, I'm gonna start tweaking. And now I gotta put another sticker on. The stickers weren't bad this time around. They weren't bad at all, honestly. And there we go. We got little Buggy's Buggy circus tent. There we go. The Buggy Pirates. There we go. All right, bag 5. 2 bags left. And we're going to get to our main character. So last time we got a little baby Monkey D. Luffy. This time we actually have Monkey D. Luffy himself. With a little, and I kind of like this. It's not as cool as Zoro's thing, but you can put his hat on the back of his head, or you can just, you know, have him wear the hat because he's Monkey. You know, he's the Straw Hat Pirate. You gotta wear the straw hat. But you know, you know, here we go. That's the current Straw Hat lineup in the canonical timeline of the show, since we're, you know, at like episode 2 or 3 or whatever. And of course, what better way to celebrate us finally building the main protagonist of the show, Monkey D. Luffy, than to build another roof? Call me Bob the Builder, the way we're just making the infrastructure of this house here. Don't worry, I'm pretty sure this bag is the last of the kind of boring stuff. Then it kind of gets to all like the neat gimmicks this set has. Because it doesn't look like much, but as of now, there's some really cool stuff. So along with the chests that have all the Buggy pieces in it, they try their best because, you know, it's a circus, but they don't have, you know, hallways or rooms. You know, this doesn't. In the show, there's rooms, you know, because it's a circus tent in a building. But right now, we're going to start off with our first little gimmick, which is Buggy's little throne. Because, you know, Buggy's he's a coward, but he also is a raging, like, narcissist. He's very full of himself. Very, very, very full of himself. So, of course, he needs to have a throne fit for a king. Because, you know, he's the head of the circus. You know, you gotta put some respect on him. Now, of course, did I realize I was building a throne at first? No, it took until I got to this page for me to be like, oh. I was like, are we making another bar? Nope. So there we go. Throne done. You just got to snap it on right there. Boom. That's what we got going for us. I almost just sneezed there, but it's okay. We're just going to keep going in. And this is another fun part. We're going to make Buggy's massive mascot head. That's right. You really think that a narcissist would just have a little throne in a circus? You really think so? No. There's a giant Buggy head obviously looming above the circus floor. It's very important. So what's really funny is I got my family into watching One Piece, and it's really funny because it's like the last thing, like, you know, because they know it's based on a comic, and they're like, oh well, how's Buggy doing in the comics? And when this came out, I'm like, oh, Buggy is, and then I look it up, I'm like, one of the most important characters right now. So, you know, as the show keeps going, oh, see, here we go. I'm brick separating like a maniac right now. trying to build Buggy's giant head. So as we keep going, so season 2 is coming out next year, in March, because obviously it's going to get in the way of Stranger Things, because they spent, almost $500 million on Stranger Things season 5, and I'm like, wow, no one cares. Mid-show, not as good as One Piece. So season 2, they're gearing up for what is going to be in season 3, the Alabasta arc, which is Luffy's going to fight what's called a pirate warlord. And in the show, a pirate warlord is essentially a pirate that is hired by the Marines. And what happens is the Marines just look the other way. As long as you don't do something like really, really, really bad, the Marines just kind of look the other way. And when something called a pirate emperor shows up and the government needs you, you have to show up. And they're going to fight Crocodile, who's a pirate warlord in season 3. And the thing with pirate emperors is if there are 2 emperors and the 2 emperors join forces, that's it for the world. The Marines can't stop them. No one can stop them, right? So Crocodile is going to be a warlord, and Luffy's going to be fighting warlords, in the comic, and he does this for a while. And without spoiling too much, it gets to a certain point where Buggy magically just wings it and just lucks himself into being an emperor, with what's called the Cross Guild, where he has Crocodile and Mihawk, which we'll get to Mihawk when we get to Baratier, but yeah, he just has them on his team. And he just has a guild for hunting Marines. But Buggy is such a loser, he's not actually the one in charge. He just has a fan club at that point. And he's important because there's only 4 emperors at a given time, and he's just one of them just cuz. Very funny stuff. So we made Buggy's big old head. I think that we only have like 1 big sticker left or 2. And now we're just making audiences. We don't really have... It is kind of odd. We don't actually have... We make audience seats, but they made none of the audience people in the episode into characters, so they're just kind of empty seats. I mean, I think they're really cool the way they set them up, but yeah, for now, I think it's really kind of neat. Yeah, it's really neat. So we just got to do that, and there we go. We kind of have a good chunk of the stuff ready. I, of course, forgot to put the front bumpers on all of it because I was rushing, because this was like, an hour and 30 minutes at this point. This is at like 300% speed, by the way. This is at 300%, like over that. And of course, we got to put the Buggy Jolly Roger. That's one of the things I like about One Piece. Is that like every pirate crew has they don't all use the same, they make their own Jolly Roger flag. And it's very neat to see how all of them form. But now we're on to bag 6. This is where all the gimmick stuff is. So we have the circus, and now we're actually going to build the cage Nami was in. So if you remember, Nami was in a cage. Luffy was in like an illusionist's water tank, like the Houdini water escape thing. Luffy was there because the rules of a devil fruit is once you eat the devil fruit, you get a power, you know what the name of your fruit is, and you cannot swim anymore. The devil has condemned you to the sea. The moment you touch water, you sink. You cannot swim up. So Buggy puts Luffy in a Houdini water chamber to kind of just drown him. And we can build all of those. So we're starting off with Nami's cage, which is going to have like a 2 bars that just kind of open, which is very, very neat. You just kind of can make little scenes with it. And it's going to hang off that weird brown staff that's on the screen in front of you, which is really cool. I didn't really realize it. I just thought like, oh, hey, it's really cool. They have just a giant stick just protruding off the side of this set for no reason. I'm like, oh wait, no, it's for the cage. I'm a buffoon. It's for the cage. And I had to double check because I'm like, oh, I'm missing a hand. Oh wait, no, I did it wrong because I'm an idiot. Don't worry, I'll figure it out eventually. No one said I was smart, okay? Reading instructions. The play set says what ages 9 to 99, all right? I'm like in that range. This isn't a kid's toy. It's an everyone toy. And there I am still looking for all the golden hands. And I'm like, wait a second. Wait, yeah, there we go. Good job, me. You figured it out. You figured it out. You got all the pieces. There you go. So yeah, no. So so it doesn't actually close all the way. It has those two little things. You can just kind of like bend them down and have Nami escape there, which is kind of neat. Although the weird thing is they didn't spring. Oh yeah, and of course the lock. Can't forget the lock. Of course, the weird thing is that there when on the spinning wheel. There was one of Buggy's circus clowns throwing knives at him, and he is not in the set. So we can have that random bar lady in the last set, whose name I already forgot because she's like a not really that important character in the grand scheme of things. She can have a Lego minifigure, but a guy who actually fights Zoro cannot have a minifigure. A little odd, but you know what? You just gotta live with it. You just gotta live with it. So now we're making the big old spinny wheel, which has enough spots where you can actually put Zoro and stick him onto the wheel itself. So that's really fun. So there's actually a couple of fun facts we can do about the fun fact about Zoro in the show real quick. So in the manga, right, Zoro just kind of is locked up for, he's a pirate hunter, so he hunted pirates. And there is a group of people that they're going to be fighting in season 2, this upcoming season, called Baroque Works. And it is said that he killed a member of Baroque Works in the manga, but the guy didn't put it in the comic because, budget cuts. He made the design. He just didn't have enough time or didn't know where to fit him in the story. So the live action show actually included a scene of him fighting the Baroque Works guy when introducing Zoro. And I'm like, wait a second. So I was watching it and I was like, wait a second, is that the guy they were talking about? And it was the guy they were talking about. And I'm like, wow, they really did their research for this show. They actually, did a good job with all this stuff. So kudos to the people who make the live action One Piece. It's the most faithful adaptation of a comic I've seen in a hot minute. Now we're on to making the water tank that Luffy was in, which is really cool. The little thing I made right there, the little lever, it pops the wall off, so you can have like a little scene where Luffy's like, I'm free, and he like pops out, through the door, and like the Kool-Aid Man, and just, whoa, I'm Monkey D. Luffy, I'm out of here. Now to use my gum fruit, which, again, to reiterate, what the gum fruit is that he's made of rubber. He can stretch his body. He can wind up his arm or his body and make like a little speed, cartoon thing. He's literally like a rubber hose cartoon brought to life. He can drink a lot of water and become like an inflated balloon wandering around. He can do, whatever. He can do more stretchy stuff in the show than Mr. Fantastic does in the new Fantastic Four movie. That's right. I'm calling you out, Disney. I'm calling you out for not even trying on the Fantastic Four movie. I see what you did there. You guys obviously did not like Fantastic Four, but see, literally, you can just pop it off. You can pop that off right there. And there we go. That is the end. And I'm going to show you the set real quick. We're going to put Buggy on the throne and put everyone on their little, on their spots. Just got to take all the swords off of Zoro. And there you go. This is what it looks like when it is all set and done. And you can do all sorts of things. It's actually a really fun set. I really do, even though this is a lot of money, but like it's actually probably, I would get a lot of mileage out of this as a kid. There's a lot of things you can do with this set. It's really cool, really neat. Got a lot of trinkets. Honestly, I don't remember if I gave this a score or not, and I really don't care. But you know what? Honestly, it's a good set. You should watch One Piece.